What up, world? STEPHENASMITHSTYLE coming right back at you. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not want to say this. I was having a peaceful day, minding my business, and then this clip dropped. Jim Jones opened his mouth and had the audacity to say with a straight face, "You can't compare me to Nas." Lord have mercy. Let me be clear from the very beginning. Jim Jones was a staple in Dipset. He made anthems like We Fly High. He gave us moments, memories, swagger. But under no circumstances, and I mean no circumstances, does he belong in the same breath as Nazir Beno Ludera Jones. None. Nada. Zip. Zero. Negative. You see what Jim Jones said in that interview wasn't just wrong, it was damn near blasphemous. Sitting there with Fat Joe and Jadakiss, two men who themselves know the difference between hype and history, and he got a little too comfortable. He said, and I quote, "Pull up Nas Billboard entries and pull up mine. My son can't even name one Nas record. I got a hell of a catalog. You can't compare me to Nas. You talking about an old head." And right there, we got to stop the music.
I recently saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got
that's my young boy
big
right
hits.
He's wild.
Yo, he looked to you. He learned how to wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
In my era too. I
So
mean,
to be compared,
let me
that young kid out.
let me
he was young and we love that he loved Jim Jones. I want you to break it down.
Let's break this down. I admired Nas, but remember Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade. So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids started to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger, things like that. It's a whole different generation. We're talking about 94, 93, I was in 11th grade. Nigga, it's 2025. There's a big gap there, you know what I mean? And I want people to understand that. So when Shorty's telling people that, yeah, he's 20-some years old, that goes to show the part of the era that he's in, that I came into light and started going crazy, that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them, some of them know.
You know what I mean?
A lot of them know.
Yes.
But it's the era.
Some music, some kids that.
No, I love that.
Some kids that love hip hop.
20, so I mean,
But he's your son.
He's your son.
He's your son.
No, but he knows
my son,
everything.
my son can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
like, let's keep it a buck. You heard? Let's keep it a buck because you'll bring it up. There must be some type of misconception or what's that word when it comes to Jim Jones and what Jim Jones have done in this game. A lot of these rappers,
we made them take the darkies off.
A lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them. But they forget I got a hell of a catalog. Me, Jim Jones, myself, gold records, platinum records, gold albums, platinum albums. No, me, Jim Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record, then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries, then check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and the niggas be trying to act funny when it come. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries, then pull up my billboard entries.
Listen, we can't compare the two. What I'm trying to tell you is
I want to go there. I want to go down the line now because now we going down the line.
No,
he's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Listen,
no, let's go statistically.
It feels great.
No, but I want to go statistically because when people be like,
I feel the same way. We all feel the same way.
Forget about the numbers. My numbers back up.
Let me step up to the forefront. Us in the music of hip hop culture have a problem. Is a thing, and it's nothing. The world goes off numbers, but in hip hop, we don't pay enough homage to those before us the correct way. And sometimes it's even myself. So it gets no other genre of music. Fucking, I don't even know who to use.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, hip hop is like basketball.
Jelly Roll's never gonna say that about
hip hop is like basketball. John Moran get on the court with LeBron. He's going to kill LeBron. So this is what this is about.
Song, any of that shit is
this is what this is about. There's nothing. There's never is me. Putting me up against anybody. I'm taking me every time. Every time.
Okay, but let me say something though, Jim.
In every category, I get busy.
You started off saying you grew up watching Nas. The only problem, the only situation I'm saying now to you, right? There is no situation.
I always tell people
kids should worship you.
You fucking started.
No, I'm not doing this. I did not know it was going there.
Because you're really friends with him.
He gonna be mad at you.
Not me. I don't know him. You heard?
Oh, he's a beautiful guy.
I understand that.
I know he's a beautiful guy.
He gonna be mad at you. I'm not bring my name up in that conversation, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, but we didn't know all that.
What he do all the time. Somebody saw the internet.
You're not gonna mention me next to nobody. I'm not gonna talk my shit.
You didn't have to do that.
I'm a pop mines every time. You heard?
I just told the people you're not doing none of that. And what did he do?
The audio. You heard?
Listen,
niggas don't even know about the audio.
Can we talk about? All right.
Nas is on the Mount Rushmore of hip hop. And Jim Jones, if you anywhere near it, it's as a tourist. Let's start with the music. Nas dropped Illmatic. at age 20. An album that's not just a classic. It's an educational class studied in colleges. New York State of Mind, The World Is Yours. It ain't hard to tell. They don't just ring bells. They define eras. Jim Jones, he gave us We Fly High. Hit, yes, a movement, but a monument, a masterpiece? Come on, dawg. Nas had 17 albums, 5 Grammy nods, 1 Grammy win. His last 3 projects were all critically acclaimed, and his pen is as sharp as ever. He's doing shows right now that sell out. His legacy is not defined by charts, it's defined by culture, character, and consistency. But Jim Jones, he wants to talk Billboard, like he's Drake, like he Bad Bunny. When he know Billboard numbers mean nothing when you got a major label funneling money behind the record. That's not called the moment, that's called marketing. And in the streets, in the culture, in the legacy of this music, the people decide who lives forever, not the charts. Because if that was the case, Vanilla Ice would be the GOAT. And let's talk about this constant need for Jim Jones to remind people that he's him. Every interview, every podcast, every press run. I'm one of the flyers. I'm a legend. I started this. I got a catalog. Bro, if you really was all of that, you wouldn't have to remind us every time you talk. And you ain't Hove. You ain't Nas. You damn sure ain't Biggie or Tupac. And if you think you belong in the same breath as them, then you more delusional than we thought. Fat Joe was sitting there looking like he wanted to hide under a pillow. The man named his son after Nas, for God's sake. Jadakiss, who done collaborated with Nas multiple times, had that "don't involve me" look on his face because even he knew you crossed the line. This ain't about hate, it's about reality. I'm not saying Jim Jones is not important. I'm not saying he didn't have his run. But legacy? Mount Rushmore? You not even on the damn trail leading to the mountain. And let's examine the root of the comment. My son don't know one Nas record. Well shit, whose fault is that? Why ain't you put your son on the one mic? If I Ruled the World, to Made You Look, to Rewind, to Black Zombie. If you ain't educating the next generation on the greats, that ain't passing the culture down. You blocking it. Nas represents evolution, growth, artistry. From Illmatic to Godson to Life is Good to Magic 3. The man has stayed true while adapting to the times. Jim Jones is still rapping like he in a velvet do-rag on 145th and Lenox. And I ain't gonna lie, it's a part of me that feels sorry for Jim Jones. Cause I think deep down, he know who Nas is. He know the difference. He just tired of being left out of conversation. That's all. And sometimes when you ain't invited to the table, you knock on the window from the outside to be heard. But here's the truth. Legends don't have to yell. Legends don't have to beg for comparison. Legends let the work speak. And when Nas speaks, the world listens. And when Jim Jones speaks, well, we get moments like this. Nas is a monument, a blueprint, a scholar, a top-tier lyricist. Jim Jones is a moment, a vibe, a piece of a movement that was larger than him. And that's okay. But please, for the love of hip-hop, do not compare yourself to Nas. You can't compare a pebble to a mountain. You can't compare a matchstick to a lighthouse. You damn sure can't compare Jim Jones to Nas. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.